Hey y'all, welcome to my Q&A for November 2024 for my Patreon people. Y'all got some great questions and it's talking about speaking, it's talking about mindset. So let me just jump into it. All right. So somebody's asking, I really want to know some tips to getting an agent as someone who's a public speaker and author. I've been speaking at major events, prestigious universities, and have been interviewed on multiple podcasts as well as TV shows. My children's books are sold everywhere online, self-published, but I can't seem to get them in stores, not even Black-owned ones. I was told I need a literary agent and or publicist. I live in LA and I would have gotten no response to some of these big agencies. So here's the thing about being in bookstores. Self-published books don't end up in bookstores because there's no vetting process. The reasons why most bookstores will refuse to put a self-published book is because they will have to do their own due diligence to make sure it hits the quality standards of the other books that they're used to. So that's number one reason why you're getting that pushback. And how to get an agent. Ultimately, you're gonna have to either get introduced to the right agent by the right person, or you're gonna have to pitch. If you want a literary agent, you're gonna have to query them, which means you write letters to agents who represent books that are in your topic, because agents are very specific based on what type of books, because some agents are known for representing fiction writers, some agents want to represent only nonfiction writers who write like essay collections. So you've got to query. You're gonna have to query. And keep in mind that a book agent, a literary agent, is different from a speaking agent. If you need a speaking agent, a lot of people think that's the magic formula. It's not. Do you have a website that actually has you listed as a speaker, that has a speaking page that shows what your signature talks are? Then you can pitch yourself to agents and then they can say, you know what, okay, this is somebody I want to represent. But it comes down to kind of doing the hustle. So in the meantime, on your end, on the speaking side, keep speaking. Make sure you update your speaking page. If you don't have one, get one. And then you can actually put it out to your network that you're looking for a speaker's agent. And then if they're interested, they'll pop out. So it's like, it's a big question you asked me. And I might have just answered you in a way that feels too simple, but promise you, you have to spoon feed people what you need. All right. How do you ensure your message remains authentic and impactful while tailoring it to different audiences? So that's also a speaking thing, right? So the next question, how do you ensure your message remains authentic and impactful while tailoring it to different audiences? Are there strategies we could use to communicate with the same level of clarity and intention in our own spheres? This is also about being a speaker. So my message resonates no matter what room I'm in, whether I'm in a room full of HR professionals or I'm in a room full of teachers. The message is the message. You don't necessarily change the message based on the audience, nor do you change how you give the message, right? Like, don't code switch your message too much. My message is ultimately, we all need to do things that are going to scare us, do bold things in order to live lives of note. Whether I'm talking to teenagers or I'm talking to adults, all that might change are the examples that I use, but you should not be changing who you are or the messaging based on the room. You can change how you make it land, right? By just changing the types of examples you use. So I keep that pretty straightforward. You know what I mean? So don't do too much bending. Okay, someone else is asking, I'm planning on starting a private investigation business in early 2025. Feels like a good time to start. Having read you since at least 2008 and seeing where you are today, I'm curious what you wish you knew then about building an audience, because I think building an audience and gaining trust is important in business to truly have significant success and long-term business survival. Hence my question, or maybe it isn't. Absolutely. Building an audience and building trust is building business, because no matter what business you enter, if the audience that you have built trusts you, they will follow you there too. That's actually the number one thing about building a business is, do you have a network and an audience that trusts you and trust that you're good at what you do? So what I know now that I did not know then that would have helped me, just how much that trust matters. And I kind of knew it because I've always moved with that idea that, like, I need to make sure people trust me. But now, being in the game for so long, it is undeniable that my audience trust for me has been game changing no matter what project I launch, whether it is a book, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a book academy, whether it is me selling them t-shirts or hoodies. The trust is critical. So yes, move with integrity. Speak to the people who are following you like they're your best friends, like you would speak to your sister. Bring them into your process so they also feel invested in the journey, and always keep them in mind as you're creating products. Like ultimately along the way, anything that I have done or created has been to solve a problem or fill a gap that I know the audience that I have has. So whether I'm building a community, whether I'm creating a course, whether I even create a t-shirt, the saying on the shirt, right? I'm thinking about what they would want. And that always brings me success. So move with that intention. This is a great question. I'm looking for how to monetize my knowledge. My husband and I own a real estate company where we buy and flip homes, but also buy and keep rentals. Everyone wants to know how we did it or got started. I have lots of connections and avenues to connect people to banks, lenders, rehab crews. I want to help, but I feel like I should be paid. I want to help as well and not gatekeep, but my knowledge isn't free. I need to figure out how to package the knowledge and profit from it too. Yes. Absolutely. Your knowledge is worth being paid for, which is why one of the best ways for you to monetize this is to create a course. There are people who want to learn what you know. Charge for it. How to create a course? I actually have a great resource for you. There's a woman named Danielle Leslie who has created a course called Course from Scratch. Her students have made millions of dollars. She will teach you how to create a course based on the knowledge that you already have. I vouch for that course. I bought it years ago. Danielle is that girl. So I'm putting the link in the description here. And she gave me a coupon code that makes it 10% off, I believe. Take that, create a course, teach people how to buy and flip property. Like so many people want to know that. My husband would take that. You know what I'm saying? So build this course, charge for it, have students come in and understand that the course that you're creating is solving somebody's problem. So do not feel away about charging for it. Absolutely, your knowledge deserves to be paid for. So that's my recommendation. All right, so this next question. I have been researching maternal mortality among Black women for a few years. I've made presentations, created a journal, and I'm in the process of writing a book. For financial reasons, I was not able to complete doctorate program. So the voice inside my head wonders, who would want to listen to what I have to say without the credential behind my name? I just would like to know your thoughts on how to quiet the voice. Credentials are not everything. Credentials are not everything. Experience matters too. People absolutely want to hear what you have to say. And you have to remind the voice that the voice is telling you that you're not good enough yet. The voice is telling you you need another credential to do this thing. And I'm here to tell you that's not true. Even before I launched the book academy, I remember being like, oh, I just need one more book to hit the times list before I feel like I know what I really know. So then when my fourth book hit the times list, I was out of excuses. We will come up with more and more excuses just because we don't think we have what it takes yet. And I guarantee you, you already have it. Because the fact that you're questioning whether you're good enough means you've already put in enough practice and you will overperform to make sure that whatever you have to say is worthwhile. So I'm telling you right now, you already are ready. You've been ready. So don't wait for the one more credential. You've shown your passion in this. You've shown your commitment to it. Just because finances kept you from getting the PhD does not mean you today are not ready to pass on that knowledge. So quiet the voice. Do the thing. Because there's somebody who's waiting for you to do this work. Because it might change your lives. Ooh. I'm a single Liberian girl and mom who has never lived outside of the East Coast. I recently made the decision to move me and my daughter to Chicago for a fresh start. What's your advice for moving to your city? I love Chicago, and I'm so glad you're moving to Chicago. It's an amazing city. My best advice for you is pick a neighborhood to live in that feels energizing to your spirit. You know, everybody always thinks you got to live downtown Chicago, River North, Wicker Park. Where's a neighborhood that feels energetically right for you? There's also, I mean, I really do like the West Loop. There's the South Loop, there's Hyde Park, there's Woodlawn, there's South Shore. Go to restaurants, go enjoy all the different foods that Chicago offers. It's a great city where you're never lacking something to do. And then three, if you know somebody in Chicago, or you know somebody who knows somebody in Chicago, connect with them and allow them to help you build your network. Chicagoans can be funny acting until you become a part of us. Then we're like, welcome. We're the most hospitable people. So have fun, you know, enjoy the city for all it has. Go to different neighborhoods to eat, to go to the museums, go to the libraries, meet people, say what's up, and just be open to what the city has for you. That's my biggest piece of advice. Be open to what Chicago has for you. Okay, so somebody's asking, I would really love to know who you recommend as a business coach or financial advisor. Those are two different people. Business coaches that I recommend, Chloe Hakeem Moore, who I just partnered with. She has a course called Genius Lab that I firmly believe will be deeply helpful to anybody who is looking to build their businesses. And the financial planner, that's word of mouth. Mine is with Morgan Stanley. He's been my financial planner for 7 years. I love him. And I might bring him to the table of this Patreon if he's taking clients right now. But yeah, honestly, who in your network has a financial planner that they love? Are they looking for clients? You got to ask, because all these money people are very specific about clients that they take on. So that's why I can't just like be like, here's who I recommend. Now, if the person I recommend, who is my advisor, comes to the table at Patreon and is taking clients, please go to him. But it's hard to just give you a carte blanche who. There's a few more questions, but I feel like they require their own video. I'm gonna stop there. There's some questions that I'm actually gonna answer as their own posts. But thank y'all so much for these questions. More to come. If you are not a part of my Patreon yet, come on inside. You go to patreon.com/Lovey. And in there is where I do virtual mentorship. I share exclusive content. And it is all about work that is going to allow us all to grow and do better personally and professionally. So come on inside if you're not a part.